crazy.
Is that better light, by the way?
Yeah.
Oh God, we're live.
Are we already?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
On YouTube. Am I allowed to have a sip of my drink?
Yes, you can drink. It's a Friday.
It is Friday. Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay.
All right, let's see here.
I'm also gonna try not to fidget with my hair because apparently it's really distracting.
Okay, well.
I deserve to be burned at the stake for playing with my hair.
I'm going to because I haven't had air conditioning. Okay, let me make sure I'm on you. Can you see us on YouTube?
It's Friday.
Yes.
It's Friday. Yeah.
Okay, I gotta pause
Cheers.
this here.
I hate when that happens.
All right, we've got people here.
Hi, people.
Okay. Why can't? Oh, cheers. Well, this is funny.
Why?
Because I just got to make sure I can see my comments.
Right. I never check the comments like when we were doing our show on Leak.
Yeah.
Like I was not even tracking. I don't know how even to track live comments. Like
I wonder if you can hear us. I'm sure we can. Let's just double check. This is way easier. I just bought this Zoom. So this Zoom live stream thing, and it definitely is better.
Good.
What's that?
All right. So
I have sunburn too.
Do you really? You can't even tell.
That's why my lights are so bright.
Nobody's out here and the property's huge, so we're just taking full advantage of the pool.
Wait, so are those, real quick, are those horses?
Yeah.
Whose horses are those?
They're my mom's.
Oh.
They're family pets though, because they're like the little one's like a dog.
All right.
Comes inside. It's really weird.
Okay, we have people here and they're listening to everything we're saying too.
All right.
All right. So.
Hi everybody. Hello.
So what are we talking about today, Jenny? You're gonna go first on all of your updates, your news updates.
Sure.
And then I guess we'll just get into some charts and do some readings.
Sure. Well, to be completely honest with you, Heidi, I don't actually have any like news updates for you, although I really should, because today is a really important day for the world. I believe it was the G20 summit, and Putin met with Trump, and everybody is, I believe, in Germany, and there's all kinds of stuff going on, tomfoolery and whatnot. And I actually haven't tracked it. So we could probably do an entire show here coming up on everything that transpired today. But as far as news, I really don't have all that much. Although there's always
that video you sent me with Demi Moore, that was pretty crazy.
Isn't it disgusting? So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. You know, my area of study that I prefer to talk about is the elite pedophile rings, sex trafficking, all of it. And I think what we've really kind of come to the conclusion that it is not just about pedophilia. When we're talking about these elite pedophile rings, it doesn't stop at child sex trafficking. We talked about this on Leak, where this really is a global issue, and it doesn't have all that much to do with pedophilia as much as it has to do with control and dominance of the children, of the future, of the collective psyche. So when we look at somebody like Demi Moore, who, by the way, I recently found out that she hasn't had a good job in Hollywood for years. She hasn't been paid well since the late 90s, because I guess she was just flopping blockbusters left and right, and she was like a huge disappointment. But in any case, she is Hollywood royalty. She was married to Bruce Willis, Ashton Kutcher. Her and Bruce Willis founded Planet Hollywood. So when we see somebody like Demi Moore, who is, puts herself in charge of an organization like Thorn, which goes after traffickers, I have to just be really suspicious. And lo and behold, the internet's amazing, and people dug up this footage on her, which I sent it to you the first time and it said attachment unavailable. And that's actually a common occurrence. This footage is not welcome. Her and her people don't want it floating around the internet, but you saw it for yourself.
Yeah, she was making out with those kids.
Yeah.
Literally, it was pretty nuts. I mean, everybody should watch it. And then I pulled her chart.
What'd you find?
Well, they said, so her birthday is 11/11, and 62, I think it's 62. And I didn't realize how old she was. I don't know why I always think she's not that old, but
wow.
And at 2:15 p.m. she was born, they say. So I put it at 2:15, and I think she's born at 2:17 because it completely switches her chart to put Mars and Rahu, Mars in the 5th house. What's the 5th house? Children. Then Jupiter, Mars and Rahu, Mars and Rahu. Rahu's obsession, Mars is intense. It's, and actually, if that's somebody that, if I read their chart, the way her chart was showing, I would have actually possibly asked them if they were raped. Why? Because the 5th house is also rape. It's also children. So
wow.
That. And weirdly enough, but you wouldn't assume, like, maybe, who knows? We're not going all there, but
you won't assume that, that's so speculative.
Yeah. And then also her Jupiter, which Jupiter is a big indication in a chart, that was in her 12th house. So Jupiter in the 12th house, I've actually asked people this: did you have a baby stolen from you, or did you have a baby that died? So there's a lot of heavy karma with children. So regardless of, and then I would assume she has Venus, Sun, Mercury, all in the 8th house. So she definitely had some issues with the father. Like, I don't know if he passed away, if he was not so swift, but something was going down with the dad, I would say. And there was a lot of trauma in her chart, to be honest with you. I mean, her moon was in Barini. Barini is definitely, like, can be conflicted, can get jealous, I feel
like she has a real fundamental issue with women as well. There's definitely a blockage there. I just pulled a couple cards for her. But what's interesting is just like listening to you talk about it, and you said that her chart invoked, if you saw somebody's chart that was similar to hers, you would have asked them if they had a baby that was stolen or a child that was lost. And I think for her, what we're talking about is the child inside, the child that she was. And I feel that she was probably a victim. And this is completely speculative, just so everybody knows. This is, we're doing readings here. This is what we do. And we're looking into people, and we're looking at their stars. We're looking at the facets that surround them. And I trust my cards wholeheartedly. My cards are like an extension of my body, my mind, and my spirit. So I trust it. And so for Demi, I think what we're looking at is somebody who's kind of a perpetuator of a cycle. So she probably was thrown in early on. I also got some weird stuff with the father, but also weird stuff with the mother. Like her whole concept of mother, daughter, and just women. She has, like, there's interference there. There's also blockages. And I also think I think she's just crazy. Like, I see her like swaying. And I would say that she's, like, most likely she has some kind of a chemical imbalance. And that's corroborated with what a lot of people have said about her. Apparently, everybody says she's a huge diva. She's really hard to work with. Well, that's Barini too, gets really jealous, and there can be real bitchy. So when your moon is in that, and our moon's alone, thank God, but Mars and Rahu together, that's like, you piss that person off, they're throwing bows. Like, like, it's not good. It's not good at all. Well, she definitely seems really controlling. In that video that we saw of her, where she was in a restaurant with the actor that plays Buffalo Bill, by the way. I don't know if
who's that?
He's the lotion guy. It's from a movie. Like, he's like a psycho killer, and he keeps people like the bottom of a hole, and it's just really messed up. So like the company was, she probably worked with the guy or whatever, but the whole scenario was just very unsavory, very shady. And I remember she was 19 in that footage, and there were several children in attendance at the party, and the child that she decided to sexually molest and assault was 12 years old, 12 or 13 years old. And
he definitely acted a lot older, like he was.
He did, but like, are you kidding me? Ew.
It's disgusting. And I'm not giving her any like justification, but I'm saying that I'll say this. I watched this other thing on pedophilia with kids in the Hollywood scene, that actually one of my astrologer follower, like I follow this person who's into astrology, teaches it, everything. Mm-hmm. And he posted this video. I was kind of surprised that he posted it. Looked like it was something you would have posted. And he said that, I don't know, it was just disturbing. It was like that one guy that was the child manager. He was the manager of all the kids like back in the day.
Yeah.
And they were just saying like what they used to do, and
handler.
It was sick.
Really, they're handlers.
And the parents like felt that the parents just wanted their kids to be famous.
Right.
And like they did too. So it was it was put up. I mean, it was pretty nuts.
Well, that's the cycle. That's how the cycle is perpetuated in Hollywood, is these kids are born to parents that don't care. The parents are systematically brainwashed as well. And that leaves the children very vulnerable, because now these parents are absolutely not able or willing to protect their children in the way that they need protecting in a place like Hollywood.
Yeah.
And, it is funny because, the kid did act a lot older than 12. I'm sure the kid was an actor, and he'd been an actor.
Right.
He'd been an actor. So he had emotional depth and probably was more mature. But, he's still a child. And when I was a 19-year-old woman, if I looked at a 12-year-old, it was, okay, you're going to pay me $12 an hour to watch your kid? It was like that. Like, I'm babysitting.
Right.
It's a baby. And we saw Demi Moore shove her tongue down this kid's throat, and I was sick. It was just sick and disgusting, but she thought it was completely normal. And chances are that's because that's just the environment that she was brought up in too.
Yeah.
The cycle, that's just how Hollywood is. It's a systematic pedophilia machine. And that's why I have such a fundamental problem with the organization known as Thorn, founded by Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher. What it is they partnered with people like Google and Facebook and several search engines, and huge private corporations helped them to develop digital tools to track down child traffickers and victims of child trafficking. To me, that screams gatekeepers. That screams control, because now they have control of the networks. They get to be on top of it and see exactly what's happening. So I'm not saying that they're not using these tools to monitor, but are they really doing anything to help? Or is it just a means to kind of have a monopoly on the entire situation? I saw an interview Ashton Kutcher did. He was on one of these early morning talk shows, and he's talking about how during the Obama administration, he worked with the Obama administration to end child trafficking, and that he vowed that when Hillary was elected, because he was so sure that she would be elected, that he would take it even a step further and end it. And he said, this is what he said. He said, it's my goal to end child trafficking during Hillary's during her presidency. And so I'm thinking bullshit bombs all over the place. Obama and Hillary are going to help you, Ashton Kutcher, end child trafficking. No, they are kingpins of the entire situation. They're kingpins of the operation. They
Do you think Obama is though? I'm just curious. Your opinion.
Absolutely, he is. He is implicated in Pizzagate. He is implicated in the emails that we got from WikiLeaks.
Speaking of Podesta, you're about to say him, I'm sure, but I'm about to say the name. Somebody asked, because I'm going through the comments real quick. Somebody said,
oh, God, I'm so stressed out.
They asked me about Podesta. They said, hold on. What about Podesta? Because Trump keeps bringing him up.
Yeah. So I know, I saw that. Part of me thinks it's so great because I hate Podesta with every fiber of my being. I want to see the man publicly lynched. I think that humanity needs that. I would fly, I would drive, I would walk to go see this because as that animal side of me that is very primitive and bound to my animal instincts as a mother, as a fighter, I want blood, you know? But then there's this other side of me that thinks that all of this is a huge setup. And that I can't help but remain kind of skeptic to what's going on here. I can't shake this feeling like it feels like a trap.
What do you mean about with who?
Well, really the whole thing. And this is kind of like a new development for me because, you know, I've been kind of parading the Pizzagate, Pedogate thing for a while. I know that Pizzagate is true. It's a real scandal. This really happens. And I'm not saying that this is I'm not saying that Podesta is in on it. Podesta's screwed. He's 100% screwed. He got thrown under the bus. He is now chum for the Sharks. But part of me thinks that this entire thing is kind of orchestrated. And I don't know to what end, and I don't know exactly why, but those red flags pop up. And that's kind of what I do is I just pay attention to those very subtle changes. So what do you think? How do you feel about it?
Well, the only thing I pay attention to is Trump. Right. You know, so I mean, I don't like to get too. I watched him and Putin talk, and that was funny. That was hysterical, like watching those two unite. And
were you watching?
Yeah, they were so happy. It was funny. It was like they were like cheesing. It's like how we are on the screen.
Yeah.
It's like they couldn't wait to meet because, you know, they were like, because it was all, yeah, I don't know. Here's my thing is about it. I've not seen anything that he's done to make me feel otherwise of everything I've said. So there's no evidence with him. I've heard a couple things that still have not been ever said. And, you know, I just don't think it's going to happen. I think it's everybody trying to hate on Trump. Right. As far as Podesta, like I said, I think all this stuff is unraveling. Everybody with planets in Aslacia, the snake, hope they told the truth. That's all I can say, because Aslacia, the snake's about to get thrown under the bus. Okay. Absolutely. So, and Hillary, Mars, she's got Mars, Rahu in Aslacia. Matter of fact, guess who else does?
Who?
What's her name? Debbie Moore. Mars and Rahu in the 5th house. Every person that is intertwined in that, a lot of government officials have planets in Aslacia. So does that mean everybody with planets in Aslacia is bad? No, I have to clarify that because then I get those little comments. So it just depends where it is and what else is there, you know. But point is, there's a lot of heavy energy in Cancer, and Cancer doesn't like heavy energy, right?
Right.
But Mars in Cancer, that's not fun. That's like that can be psychotic, right? And all of them have this. And that was the problem with Hillary's chart. She's got Mars and Rahu together in Aslacia in the 10th house. That's like as crooked as they get. No joke. Like that's.
What is the psychological correlation of Aslacia?
Aslacia is the serpent. It's the serpent. It's the you know what the symbolism is for it? It's the cross, right? With the snake on it. Just like the medical symbol.
Wow.
Just like everything else that can kind of controls us.
Wow. That's amazing. I didn't
know. Like there are other parts of Cancer that aren't that snaky, right? And I'm not saying like, that's where these nikshatras that I talk about are so important, because there are parts of cancer that are dicey, which Aslacia is one of them. Now, not my sister's like double Aslacia, not a snake. Okay. So I will say that's not everybody, but you have to look at the overall chart.
Right.
Usually the moon in Cancer can be more conflicted.
Right.
But a lot of cancers are in the public. They're famous. They're out in the, just depends on where it sits in their chart.
Right. Well, I'm sure there's all kinds of variations and all kinds of things that affect, how it works out.
But the thing, here's the problem with Rahu, okay? When Rahu's sitting with it, Rahu and Mars together. What is Rahu? It's an illusion. It's an explosion. It's your obsessions. It's going to be secret behavior, politics, government, sharp things, hidden things, poison, all these crazy things is what Rahu is. And when it's sitting with, and it's going to be what you're obsessed with, because where Rahu and Ketu sit, Ketu is what you're here to let go of, right? Moksha. So it almost, and it calms you down. Rahu is going to be like what you're obsessed with, what you're going to figure out, and it's going to be chaos. So when Rahu's sitting with Mars, that's literally, and in Cancer, I mean, if Rahu was sitting with Mars in Scorpio, might be somebody that kills people secretly. But when it's in Cancer, in Aslacia, that could be just somebody really crooked. Maybe not so, just sketchy. I'm just going to be honest. Like I wouldn't date anybody with Mars and Rahu and Cancer.
Oh my God. No.
Never. That would be a big red flag.
That's so funny. Like every time there's a prospective partner, you have to find out the birthday, time, location, everything.
You have no idea.
I can just imagine.
You have no idea what I do. Well, literally, that's the first thing I say to people. Like if I'm considering I've been single for a long time, so that's probably why.
Oh God, right. Well, hey, listen, you know exactly what you want, what it looks like, and what you don't want, what that looks like too.
Yeah.
You have an advantage.
I don't know if it's an advantage. We'll leave it at that. But I've made a lot of mistakes, so we can also say that. I've learned. I don't want to waste any more of my life. All right. Seriously, that's really what it boils down to. Okay, so we have some charts. We've got 50 people watching.
Yay.
So let's get into the charts.
Okay.
Or should we keep talking for a little bit more just in case? Okay. I'm going to put a birthday in, a couple birthdays.
Okay. So there was a ton of stuff that I wanted to say. Ooh, a card just jumped out. Oh my God, all my cards just jumped out.
That's a sign. You know what else? I have my cards. I've been playing with them a little bit, testing them.
Oh my gosh, I made such a mess. It's so bad.
No, this is so funny. That's not surprising. We always have problems here.
Oh my God.
All right. Don't worry. Take your time. I'm getting some birthdays wrapped up.
So
8:15. Because I'm going to turn the chat off soon because I don't want people to comment while I'm like finding birthdays.
Yeah.
And then they can make comments on the real video.
Okay. Sounds good.
So hold on, 8:15, 2:15 a.m. So everybody get your birthdays, and if you want me to look, and I don't know how many I'm going to get.
Yeah. Well, I figured what we could do is like, you could do their charts because everybody loves when you do their charts, and we'll do what we usually do. So like, yeah. I'll pay close attention. I paid really close attention to like, if something jumps out and I'm like, ooh, there's something there. Shuffle, pull a card. There's always something there that correlates. It brings us right into the next phase of the reading. We have a really good synergy.
We do. It's always flowing well on when we do this.
Yeah.
All right, hold on, 2:15.
But I just want to tell everybody who's listening, like, there is so much evidence out there of corruption at every level, from the highest of the high to state and federal government levels, Hollywood, CPS, the foster care system, it made me sick because the CEO and founder of the Center for Missing and Exploited Children was sitting next to Ashton Kutcher while Ashton Kutcher performed, it was the performance of his life, sitting there at Congress talking about sex trafficking taking place overseas. And I was sick to my stomach watching this man, Ashton Kutcher, talk, because I know he's an actor. He is an actor. He professionally pretends to be someone else. And people are like, oh, he's doing such great work. Like, he's an actor, and you believe him. You know what I mean? This is literally what his livelihood is. And he started his career as a model. So yeah. With the male modeling industry, if there isn't anything more corrupt than that, I mean, he knows. He absolutely 100% knows. But he's diverting attention. That's what they're doing. They're gatekeepers.
Yeah.
And so everybody needs to just be, you exercise discretion, like discernment is what I mean, discernment, and question everything. Don't just believe people because it sounds good or because they make it look nice and shiny. Don't, because most of the time it's a lie.
Yep.
If it comes from Hollywood, it's a lie, and it's all controlled opposition. Like, more and more, I'm just starting to believe that it's all just a big show, Heidi.
But do you think it happens? Like, so what do you mean? Do you think the when you say that confuses me, because what do you?
Well, I mean, everything from the people that we revere as good guys. I think even the good guys in government are not really good guys. It's just another form of control.
So I would be curious to know. People always are like, "Oh, Donald Trump, the Simpsons thing." I haven't had time to look this up, but I just had this thought one day. Do you think the people that wrote The Simpsons possibly read his book when he wrote the book, The Art of the Deal and all that stuff, and just made a joke out of it, like he was going to be president, and that's really what happened?
No. Like, I mean, so you're saying, like, did it happen by chance?
No, like, I know that happened. I know it was planned, right? But like, was it planned like everybody thinks it's planned? I don't think so.
I don't know. I mean, listen, predictive programming is real. We know this. Predictive programming, it's in, there are some articles circling around. It's been confirmed that the CIA has had a hand in the script writing and storylines of over 1,800 Hollywood productions. They want us to get a very specific taste of the way that things work on all levels. Paranormal, everything. They want us to have a very specific idea about things. So predictive programming is 100% the thing. I happen to know that The Simpsons in particular is a very powerful, very kind of a go-to predictive programming kind of agenda. It's been implicated in all kinds of predictive programming, 9/11, Trump's presidency, the Boston bombing, all of these things. And so I have to wonder, I just have to wonder what's going on here. And I think that that's another reason why I think that this is all just a show, and we're all just cattle, and we're not, we think we have a grasp on things, and then we learn a little bit more and realize we have no grasp on it whatsoever. Like, it's too convoluted at this point.
Yeah.
So I just mind my business, Heidi.
Yeah. All right. So I got a few in here.
Okay. How many do you think we have tonight?
I don't know. We're going to do as many as we can. So
right.
I'm just going to try to be brief. But if I'm giving you a reading, I'm not going to do your chart because that doesn't make sense to do. And then if I'm going to, because I see some people here that I already recognize the names. And then if I've done it before, I'm not going to. But okay, so we're going to start with, there were three readings also I'm adding to this mix from another show that I already stuck in here just because I already said that we were going to do them.
Okay.
And okay, so this is 7/28/73.
Didn't we do this?
Did we?
728.
Yeah. No, why did we do that?
Oh, okay.
Well, this is a Pisces ascendant, and this person is, I would say, why does this look familiar? You're right.
We've done it. I swear to you.
We've done this one, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
Good.
I remember because I was like a Pisces ascendant, but was born in July. And then I remember you explaining to me how and why.
No, I don't think we have done this one. Maybe there's two of those people.
Oh my God, right. The same person.
I know. No, okay, because I don't think we did this.
Okay.
I'm just going to make it really quick. So this person might like animals. This person may, Pisces ascendant with Mars in the first house, very independent. But the problem with this person is they have this, Pisces don't really like to be go-getters. They like want to relax, right? So when you throw Mars in Pisces, it's conflicted. It's not happy. It's annoyed because it's like, go, 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 go. And then you just, it's like this, here comes a bug. Here comes a mosquito.
Oh no.
Oh my God, no joke, not joking. Okay, but because it's in Revity, this is really, really good for music and good for spiritual things. So you'll really be interested in that. But other things will be really stressful. Maybe real estate you'll like, maybe, you know, something like that. But you're going to just always feel like very creative. You definitely should get into astrology. You may have some women enemies. And
I remember this.
But when you have Rahu in the 10th, you'll have issues with career, but you'll always be prominent. It could be enemies, but you'll always have things going on with the career. So I did this one.
I remember this one, and I remember this man in particular having like a soft spot for difficult women, or having like an attraction, a penchant for women that were both younger and had some complications, like some emotional depth to them that he was going to be able to kind of figure out, almost as if that was a source of like excitement and life for him to be able to. I remember this, and I remember doing this. I remember this.
All right, so we're done with that one then.
Okay.
Unless you want to pull one card.
The sun. Yay. Well, that's exciting.
Yeah, so that's good.
Listen, it's super, super broad in general. You know, it's the brightest and shiniest card in the deck. It's, you know, new beginnings. It's high energy. It's focus. It's rebirth. It's reciprocation. New beginnings. I don't know if I already said that. It's kind of hard to like pin it down. You know, it's such a general card and there's no specific question.
Can't that be good luck and then it can also be delusion? Like, or where?
No, yeah. Well, the delusion card in my experience is the moon. That's the card that represents, you know, psychosis at times, instability, bipolar, things like that, lunacy, just generally, you know, the moon, you think of what the moon is. Whereas the sun, you know, it's a solar thing. It's very steady. It's very, it's stable. It's consistent. It's, you know, each and every day, and it makes things grow. So it's more of like a, you know, a bringer. It's like a disinfectant in a lot of ways. It shines the light and it makes things go. Whereas the moon is like more associated with secrets and the shadow self and all that stuff. So we're definitely, you know, at least you didn't get like kind of a scary card like the Tower or something like that. So that's
this person. So because I know Pisces have kind of been dealing with some interest, like some seclusion, wanting to like 12th house energy, maybe working with hospitals and stuff. You're gonna feel a lot less conflicted with heavy energy. I would say within 3 months. So that's good for that person, whoever that was. So next person is 11978. This person is also going to have a little mini reading that I haven't posted yet from a famous Indian astrologer, Astro Sharmista. But I just put him in the mix too because
why not? Sure.
Gemini ascendant, Nikshatra of Ardra. So this person is definitely entrepreneur-like, wants to change things, wants to renovate things, wants to fix things, might like the dealing with the weather, might like listening to the weather. Intuition is with weather, stuff like that. But this is Lord Shiva. So what is Lord Shiva? Lord Shiva is destruction, okay? And what does that mean? That means you can be destructive. And depending on, and the first Lord goes into your sixth, so maybe you have a lot of enemies and you're destructive over your enemies. You also have some conflicted things going on with the moon, so there can be some maybe emotional, like you have a hard time, you got some issues at work, some career things going on. You don't ever work for anybody. You need to work for yourself, and you need to use your creativity. You could be a musician, you could be an artist, you could be like, there's all this stuff that you're extremely good at, but you need to be, using your creative self-expression. That's the best thing I can say. And, but you probably work with your hands, you're good with your hands, you're good at fixing things and all that other stuff. But long story short, if you have anything to start your own business or anything like that, it's definitely going to be in your favor to do that.
Okay. So, fantastic. So I pulled a couple cards. You mentioned something about the career. There's the propensity here for wealth coming up. And it's not even necessarily about like, cash or anything like that. Abundance comes in all different forms, and you can't attach expectation to that, because abundance could be, a job or a really great opportunity or a situation where you can make money or you can provide, or, it's not just strictly about like coins and stuff like that. So there's also kind of a little bit of an issue here with kind of like having, it's like the word that's coming to mind is like stagnation. And it's like kind of having so many ideas, like this person just has like so many ideas, and it's really kind of like a struggle. This person really, really wants desperately to find a balance. They're striving. I feel like there's just like striving so hard, like kind of spinning their wheels, trying to decide on something. So I feel like this person is having like a really hard time.
And that's the problem in his life. Okay, that's the overall theme. It's always like that.
Getting going. It's kind of like this getting going thing, and the motivation sort of thing is there. And I feel like what's needed is like, I feel like this person really needs support. And this person does best and we all do best in a healthy relationship, but I feel like some people need encouragement and need gentle words of encouragement. There's different kinds of ways that people show love and affection, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like this person does really, really well with like verbal support. And
yes, he does. Yes, he does.
And kind words and being reassured a lot by somebody who genuinely cares. And I just feel like that is what this person would really benefit from. And that's
the self-esteem could be some of the, and
there's definitely a self-esteem issue, because there's kind of like this person kind of puts it on like everything's great, and it looks like they have confidence, but deep down they have all these insecurities.
Financials, especially financials, career, financials, it's hard to save money, and it's hard to, like, these are things that are just going to be struggles, but you have all these crazy gifts. And whether, you finish school or not, or whatever, I mean, there's all kinds of things that can go on. We can only look at these for a couple minutes, but you are self-taught, you're self-taught like master, and you're very creative, and you need to be using your creative self-expression. So you just have to do it. But you have to work on your own, because what will happen is when K2's in the 10th, you'll just do better working on your own. I mean, it's going to be, you're going to always search for happiness, and you're going to be like, you're always going to have a job. It might be steady, but you'll just bounce around, or, it can be something like that.
It's funny that you say that, because like sometimes the way I read my cards, I'll do it like this. So I don't know if you can see, but like if I'm trying to, like, my cards will tell a story. So all I have to do is like that. And every card that comes up, it's like flipping through a comic book.
Yeah.
And getting a story. And it's rapid fire. What's that?
I don't know. I just picked one up.
Looks like the Three of Wands.
Yeah. What does that mean?
Well, that, I love this one, actually. That's the Three of Wands for me. Every time it comes up, it's all about like not compromising and like sticking it out. It's kind of a struggle card. It's a little bit of a place where you're not balanced. If you think about the number 3, it's kind of like you need that fourth. You could really use that fourth to make things stable. So for me, the 3s are all about kind of like a transitory place. And wands are
very spiritual number though.
Oh yeah, no, it's a fantastic number. There's nothing wrong with 3s. But it is really, I wanted to go back because when you were talking, I got a lot of like swords. There's a lot of swords here. And for me, it was all about like, this person has a conflict where they can't express themselves and they feel restricted by other intellectual presences. Like they're being kind of stifled, or they feel stifled intellectually in some ways, because they're not, I feel like they're kind of up against, this person's up against other kind of more powerful personalities that kind of like shut this person, make this person feel like they can't express themselves. So I just thought that was cool because you mentioned not working for anybody else, that you would do best working for yourself. And I completely agree with that for this particular person.
Right. Okay. So we're going to have to start going faster. Okay. All right. So this is 9/27/82.
Okay. This is funny. This is so funny because it really is like boot camp. It's divination boot camp.
It is. It's crazy, but it's good. And this person, 9/27, and no, it's not a Virgo like you think. This person actually is a Libra, and that they might be a Libra in Western astrology anyway. But Libra ascendant. Let me explain. No, I'm not going to do that because I was going to say, let me tell you what an ascendant is. But I have a video called Vedic Astrology. Watch it. Okay. Wow. So your ascendant, how people see you, and you have Jupiter in your first house. So that's, people are going to look up to you. You're probably a good teacher. You're definitely like a good business person when you have Jupiter usually in the first house, because you're good at leading, you know, you're going to be a good leader, and you're going to be a good teacher, and you're going to be a good, and it's in the nakshatra of Swati. Swati's a good speaker. Now they can be a harsh speaker, and they can be, but this is an entrepreneur, somebody that can flow. It's a blade of grass.
Effective.
And you like your space.
Yeah.
Period. All I can say is like, you need your space, you need your alone time, and meditation will be very nice for you because you've got a lot of planets in Virgo in the 12th house. So you may be a Reiki like if you learn Reiki, you will be a Reiki master within seconds, and you might already be one. Or yoga teacher. This is because of 12th house. You also might be a great nurse, or because you're great with your hands, maybe even like cooking. I mean, anything, contracts, writing, all this stuff. You've got Venus, Sun, Mercury, and Saturn all together in the 12th, but it's in Virgo. So healing, hospitals, jails, prisons, asylums. I know that doesn't sound that exciting, but it's also like ashrams and hidden talents. You're probably a really good dancer as well. And Mars in the second is your speech. So when you're pissed, and you have some quick speech. Like this is somebody that when they're mad, they can get mad. And maybe some things going on. If you have siblings, maybe some issues with siblings. But the way you think is very grounded and practical. Go ahead. What do you have to say?
So the first thing that comes out stands out, and like it's different because the way I do readings is like I really, really benefit from hearing hearing the person's voice, or seeing their face, or even just knowing the name helps a great deal. But in any case, we have found through trial and error, these readings turn out to be quite accurate. And that's just because, like, for me, I trust my cards with everything. They, you know what I mean? Like, they are the tool and I'm just the humble reader. So, okay, so listen, this individual has a very deep understanding and desire to further understand spiritual, esoteric information. So I see this person being, and specifically now more so than ever, this person is being drawn into this esoteric world. There's a lot of, I think what brought this person here, believe it or not, was an issue with being dissatisfied, emotionally dissatisfied in previous, I don't want to say dogmas, but previous institutions or establishments or rules where this person was just not fulfilled at all. And I feel like this person has tried for quite a long time to kind of like do the right thing in terms of like falling in line, doing what they're supposed to do. I feel like this person is very political in the sense that they try to keep everybody happy. And they also are like, they're really good speakers. Almost like I see this person as being like a liaison between opposing candidates.
A mediator. That's what Swati is also a great judge. They're good at taking two parties and putting them. So crazy.
Yeah.
That is so crazy.
Yeah. Really a liaison, a mediator, a go-between, somebody that can eloquently, articulately carry a message, a very difficult message with eloquence and articulation. And so I feel like that in itself makes this person a really good candidate moving forward with really kind of heavy esoteric information that takes a lot of people many, many years to mature to the point where they can understand it. And I think that this person is definitely dealing with some like, I almost said the word scarring, but what I mean is more like emotional scarring. But they're kind of at a point where they're starting to feel okay again. And I think that might even have to do with what's going on in their lives spiritually. So
yeah, and you keep a lot of things private and behind the scenes, and that's one of the problems, because also when you have all those planets in Virgo and you have all those planets in Capricorn, all your spirituality stuff is going to be so judged 24/7. You're going to have all this intuition, but then you're going to judge it, and then you're going to be like, no, there's no way that's right. Like, you need facts. You would make a great investigator, put it that way. So you're probably already investigating. You know what I mean?
This person's really fair. I feel like this person doesn't have a lot of like bias. Yeah. This person has.
Those people are very hard to like my neighbor, okay? She was my friend. She's got all these planets in Virgo, and she's Virgo. She has to calculate everything. Everything needs to be like, numbers. It's got to make sense. And this is how this person is. Extreme too.
Yeah. No, that's great. And the esoteric aspect of what they're into right now it's so opposite from that, because it's, a lot of it takes a certain amount of openness and kind of like a willingness to get uncomfortable.
That's good. Okay. Next is, I'm
gonna have to take a shower after this, Heidi. You got me sweating over here.
Hold on. This person,
we do this though.
I know. Okay, this person, I got this email. I have to just check it real quick.
Do you get tired after readings?
Yes.
I get so exhausted.
But here's the deal. Mainly, the main reason I get so tired though is because I work all right. I mean, I'm like, it's by the time I get home, and then I do readings, I'm drained.
Oh yeah, that's too much. I mean, I'm a mom, and
that's a lot too. That's just
it is. But let's be fair. I really am very lucky. But I'll do reading for somebody, and afterwards I will feel. Well, it really depends on the reading, but I will feel so drained, so tired, and the most important thing is I will be so hungry. Like starving, like I've never eaten before. And I'll just like,
I just get so tired and I get like feisty sometimes. Well, but usually that's why I can't do too many readings. Like I have a long wait time.
Right.
I can only do one a night.
Right. Well, yeah, that's fine.
And yesterday, like I did 3, right? I mean, it's because I was off.
Right.
My real
but
job.
Your quality will struggle if you push yourself too far, and then you're like, you're not giving a quality reading. That's how I am too.
Okay, so this is did I do 8/15/89?
Oh.
Did I
no, I've never heard that.
I just must have put that in.
That's my year of birth. 28-year-old.
Let me just make sure where I came up with that birthday. Okay, yeah, 8/15/89. Okay, so this person is a Gemini ascendant with Jupiter in the ascendant. So like I just said prior, I said that this person is going to be, now it's in Ardra, so it's hard. It's a more not as soft and sweet, put it that way. You are definitely I'm sure you've caused some ruckus here and there. And, you might have, I don't want to say, no, there's multiple things in here where that could be.
Do you have a name?
I don't know the name.
No name?
I think it's a girl.
I thought it was a girl. Yeah.
And now, you have your Capricorn moon, so you're like so practical. So honest to God, that probably, and Geminis are very creative. They're entrepreneurs. They need to be doing something 24/7. And they're my favorite sign because they tell it like it is.
Yeah.
No BS. They're a mirror image of you, and people will reflect their energy off of you. And you are just going to tell them the truth. It is what it is, right? And with Jupiter there, people will look up to you. And you can be harsh. So there can be some power struggles here and there. But you might be really you're just very good at running the show, I could say.
Yeah. No, you're so right. It's so funny. Okay, so just real quick, a male came forward, like jumped right out of the deck. And he is younger, which would make sense considering
younger siblings.
No, this felt more to me like a prospective romantic or some kind of a friendship relationship there. But this it really, like, so when the cards jump out, I'm like, I listen, I shut up in it.
Yeah.
So either this person is a male or this person is a female, and is the first thing that's kind of coming off of their energy would be this male that is either close to them and they don't know it, or really likes them and they either do know it or don't know it. But this person is kind of like, kind of central in this person's energy field right now. And also, you mentioned that this person kind of running the show. It's so funny because the first card that I glanced at was the law card or the adjustment card. And that's not to say that this person is an actual law enforcement officer, although
this person could be, because they've got K2 Mars and Mercury together too.
Yeah.
This person's intense.
It often is. It often is personnel of the military, the government, law enforcement, something like that. But next to it, I have the priestess. And that's a very interesting combination, because we have the law, which is very much about, they're almost kind of like opposite sides.
Her Venus is in Virgo.
Okay.
The priestess, isn't that Virgo? Did we even have the same problem? Never mind. What's priestess?
That's a pretty good question.
I think we did. We had the same run-in.
It's the moon. The priestess.
And you know what? Here's what I'll say about this.
It's either the moon or Cancer, because I'm just looking at her. But yeah,
I swear to God, maybe
the priestess is the moon, and that didn't you say Ardra?
Yes.
Moon and Ardra.
No, that's you.
That's mine. Oh, I love it. That one sticks to me. I'm like,
I know, that's why, right?
Right.
I didn't want to say it.
It's just kind of cool because this person is so powerful and has such a natural sense of authority.
This person is scary. Like, I wouldn't want to mess with this person. She's about as, like, you throw like you and me together and like we're
fighting.
No, not each other, But like, if you put us, we're like warriors right here.
Right. You make a good team. No, but I foresee a power struggle there because this person also, and this is not like a negative thing in any way, but I get the sense that this person kind of becomes borderline dictator when given too much authority, when given too much power, it borderlines psychic vampirism. And that's not to say to be a psychic vampire is not inherently a good or a bad thing. It is literally a function of somebody's energy. You know what I mean? And people have to like just know that about yourself, that you have the ability to draw people in and to control people. That can be a very powerful thing. But my suggestion to this person would be to use your powers for good, because there's a lot of power there.
She might, and that's why I won't say that, because I have a similar I have a lot of similar things going on here. Mm-hmm. You're like a mix of Jenny and I's like crazy harsh energy, I will say. Yeah. And even with your like relationships and love, you have your Venus debilitated like me. So it makes you practical. Like you don't get all excited about romance. You know, it's BS. You're not, you're not going to like sit around and be like, oh, why can't somebody bring me? You're more like, okay, this is the real deal. You want the truth. You want the, no BS. And honestly, you're very, very creative too. You're probably a very good like writer, engineer, something like that. I mean, and you will get married, or you'll marry somebody older. You'll be attracted to somebody older to you. And you will also, and if you will get married later, maybe, or it's just going to be a unique thing. And moon in the 8th, that's maybe separated from the mother, possibly. I haven't looked enough to go in all that, but you have a strong chart, so you've got a lot of potential here.
It looks like there is an issue here with a male.
Well, K2 Mars Mercury in the 3rd. That's why I kept asking about siblings. If you have any issues with
that could be it, because I said, all right, so there was the first male, but he was very watery, and that was a loving, more like a healthy thing. But there is also a male who is younger, and there's a lot of like oppression there. There's a lot of tension. There's a lot of conflict there. So I don't know exactly what's going on. Maybe that person should consider, there's a lot there. This person has a lot of conflict with younger males for some reason. There's a lot
of brothers.
The more that you say it, the more that it makes sense, because you're looking at her chart. But that definitely does fit, because it's like they've all been younger males, and there's just a lot of like butting heads. There's a lot of conflict, and this, it's a shame. And maybe this person should reach out and get a more in-depth reading from Heidi.
Or you.
Or me.
Or you. Okay.
Or both.
Yeah, you have this person has a heavy chart. Like this is like a Heidi, like my chart. And yeah. I mean, it's a lot of energy.
You're like, that's a lot. It's hard.
But I mean, it's also a phenomenal salesperson, and so no matter what you do, you have the potential to be.
Oh my God, this person is so charming. So charming. Charm. I feel like they're good looking too. And they know.
So next one is, okay.
How are people feeling? How are people liking it?
There's 58 watching still. I'm not reading the comments, what they're saying. And I'm gonna ask if everybody can please put if everybody can please put the comments after we hang up, like if the reading was right and it sounded like you, just so people know, like, because we're talking in here, and this conversation will not be posted. So.
Oh, it won't?
No, not the one in here. Unfortunately, it's weird. What did I just see? I just saw this other birthday. I put it in? I wanted to make sure. Okay, yeah. Okay, this is, no, I'm not doing that one because I don't know where that city is. Let me just check. Make sure I didn't make a mistake. Manchester, NH, New Hampshire.
Okay.
Is that right? I'm asking.
I don't know. The only Manchester I know is in England.
I know, right? No, there is a new, I think there's an NH. Okay. All right, this is an Aquarius ascendant. So kind of rebellious.
Birthday?
10/9/1990. So and you probably, is this a Libra? Would this be a in Western? No, but your sun's in Virgo. So you probably read Virgo or Libra things, and nothing about Libra really sounded like you, because you're not a Libra. You have Pluto in Libra, which is, yeah, a little bit, but you feel Virgo. Sun, Venus, Mercury in Virgo. 12, 11, 10, 11, 8.
That's
eighth house.
Significant.
Yeah, that's a lot of planets in the 8th house, and it has to do with Hasta, with the hands. Now, this I've seen where people have been, because it's the 8th house. It can be, what's the 8th house? The 8th house is, sorry, I have notes because I'm all over the place today. Endings, career change, sex, death, inheritance, it's investigation.
That is so all over the place. Like,
I know, right?
It's so wild to me, but it works. It works. Like, it's just so wild. Mortician,
insurance, astrologers. So listen, here's the deal. You could write contracts for the government, or you could be a sex, I don't know, like work with women in the sex and help girls that are sex trafficked. Like, it could be anything.
Okay.
It could be, or you could be a thief. Who knows? You could have went through a stage where you were a thief, right? Or you're really good with your hands and you're a phenomenal boxer. I mean, it's all over the place. Or Reiki, like Reiki with your hands, anything with healing, helping women, massage, transforming people, something like that. Or I know.
You're awesome.
But oh God, but your moon is in Mrigashira. Mrigashira is always searching for things, always looking for things, always like you can't sit still. And also you could have been stalked, or maybe you're a stalker, one or the other. No, like when you get involved in somebody, it's extreme. Or this could have happened to you, right? And Rahu in the 12th, and you definitely might have an interest in foreign lands, foreign countries, foreign things, foreign people. But you are like a natural healer. I mean, this is where a chart could be a doctor or it can go a bunch of different ways. So 9th Lord is in the 8th house.
There's a lot of fire energy here, a lot. And this person isn't, I mean, obviously there's no such thing as
well, this person has Mars in the 4th. So that's like happiness. It's going to be a lot of pleasure. You want pleasure. You want, just a lot of like intense energy.
Well, that's funny because for me, every time I get the 8 of Wands, and it's funny because you mentioned there's a lot of concentration in the 8th house.
Yep.
And so I think that 8 is a really significant number for this person. The fire energy is like, earlier you were saying that this person, when they get involved with somebody, it's very intense. I absolutely agree. I feel like this is the type of person that when they have an idea about something that they want to do, but something fun, like they have to really want to do it. But if they really, really want to do it, they're going to do it, and there's absolutely no compromise. Like, they're just going to do it. But in terms of like something that they have to do, like something that they don't want to do but have to do, that's different. Strictly speaking, this person has a lot of passion and a lot of drive to make themselves very happy, which is a good thing, and not necessarily in a selfish way. It's just that this person is really kind of interested in satisfying themselves and like what it is that they want, which is great. There's a lot of control. Like, this person like kind of like craves structure and control. whether they realize it or not. That's kind of like how they're functioning, is like needing that kind of control. And also the thing that you said about intensity, speed. Like whenever this card comes up for me, it's all about speed and a really swift form of communication.
8th house. Sorry, addiction. Yeah. Could it be okay? There could be some addiction problems too.
Yeah.
So, I always forget about that one, but that can also be addiction problems.
Well, yeah, because what it looks like here is like the Ace of Wands for me is all about like somebody that has a new passion, a new hobby, something that they enjoy, something that they really, really love and get excited about. And that could definitely be addiction, because it's also followed by the 10 of Wands, which in my deck is labeled as oppression. So this is like almost like this person struggles against their own desire to strive for happiness, to strive for like recreational fun. So there's like, this person is a lot about recreational fun, good times and all that stuff. There's definitely a relationship, and it looks like a healthy relationship, but there are issues regarding this person's desire to kind of want to have their cake and eat it too. I know that sounds a little bit harsh, but it's kind of like, I see this person kind of like knowing that they need to kind of get it together, but they're kind of having a hard time like maturing and doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Sorry if that is like rude.
Yeah, nobody can get mad. Sorry, we're just real. Okay, so don't be mad.
And also, these readings are we're doing this because like we enjoy this and it's fun and it's good for everybody.
We're putting these birthdays in on the fly. I mean,
right. And a one-on-one session is totally different. Every session is different because every client is different. So just letting you guys know that this is kind of a taste of what the real thing is.
A taste,
a sample. How many more readings we got, Heidi?
As many. I mean, I could keep going for a little bit longer, but hold on. So next one will be this. This is going to be, no, we're not doing this one right now. Actually, okay. This is. There's a reason. I can't do that one right now. 9/21/79, 18. Okay. We didn't do that. Okay, 18. This is 9/21/1979. This person has K2 in the first house. Your problem is relationships. It's also in Aquarius. So you're always going to have problems in relationships. And you're going to, no matter what, it can change with age, but main focus in your life is relationships, others. When you have Kate and you're an Aquarius ascendant, Aquariuses they don't want relationships either. So you like your space, you like your privacy, you like your alone time. Now, you probably focus a lot on relationships, right? Because that's what happens when you have K2 in the first. I have it too. You always get into these relationships, they end up being chaotic. They're with the wrong people, whether, I don't know if this is a guy or a girl, I forget, but you'll always get into the wrong relationships and there's issues. I mean, then you go back and you just would rather be alone. You take your flag, you stick it in your box and you're done, right? And you're here to learn how to balance relationships. Your moon's in Virgo. You're picky. You're so picky. Like, I'm gonna say you're a pain in the ass, but I am too, don't worry. So you just, with relationships and with love and romance, it's just, you have like a list. You're a lister. You're going to list everything. But you're very detail oriented and these are awesome, awesome traits to have too, right? But the problem is relationships and balancing relationships and balancing this kind of stuff, because you might just get too irritated with everybody. It's what happens with me, right? And so I'm saying this to you in I have the same problem. So it can be just, it's a lot. And then there definitely, I will say, some family things going on.
Yes. Before you go any further, I want it to be really, I want people to know how authentic this goes when we do this. Is there anything with there's a dynamic here, kind of a toxic dynamic between the mother and the daughter. So there's it's either the mother, it's what it is. It looks like an older feminine figure. So a older sister, a mother, or an aunt. And then there's a younger, more rebellious.
It definitely could be something like that. But the mother, there's definitely some issues with the mother, I would say.
There is. The mother, okay, so, and what this is, it feels, honestly, like, this is crazy, because, like, it's just kind of, like, coming through, but, like, what it feels like is the mother is very, like, is very practical, has always been very practical, very hardworking by the book, but at the same time has her issues. I'm not defending anybody, but there's kind of like this issue with like, oh, I did it all for you, I sacrificed everything for you, and then the female, there's a younger female who she's a rebel, she's a runner. I see her like on fire, trying to just like carve and claw her way out of a situation, but everything comes full circle, right? So I think that what I'm actually looking at here is a dynamic that has been like seeded in the past, and what we're dealing with now is kind of coming to terms with all of that, and like everybody's kind of coming together and trying to like make a truce and figure everything out. But there's definitely some like issues there regarding a mother, daughter, older woman, younger woman relationship. And there's like a lot of guilt there, and a lot of like, you owe me, and that sort of thing.
There's a disgrace in secrets. There's a lot of secrets, and there's a lot of disgrace.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and I don't know why, but the 8th house is disgrace. Power, there's a lot of planets in your, I mean, even though it's all in Virgo, it might not have been as bad, because your 8th house in Virgo, that's totally different than like an 8th house in Scorpio with all this energy. But there's a lot of secrets. There's a lot of hidden things. There's a lot of hidden good things going on. And I'll say, when you have K2 in the 1st house, you just feel like an alien, like you never fit in anyway. So no, it's if it's not your family that you were dealt with your entire life, it would have been something else. Because that's when you have K2 in the 1st, you're an outcast, and you always feel lost. Like, what am I supposed to be doing? And you're probably pretty good at everything, and then you're like, you get bored. You get bored of this. You get bored of that. Mm-hmm. And that's really what happens when you have K2 in the 1st. You should study astrology. You will love it. You will be obsessed with it. That's probably my best advice to you. Seriously. All my K2 in the 1st houses, I tell them to learn astrology, because it will keep you sane. Because you'll understand things. It helps you. When you have K2 in the 1st, you're a spiritual, mystical person. So, all right, next, do we go?
Yes. I think I've got like 2 more in me, Heidi.
Okay. Well, there's 2 more.
Oh, fantabulous.
Actually, no, there might be 3. Okay, so this person this is 7/18/1970.
70.
July birthdays. Okay, Sagittarius ascendant, nakshatra of Mula. Sagittarius ascendant, they're very into philosophy, into higher purpose, higher knowledge, higher wisdom. But Sagittarius and Mula, the god Kali. I don't know if you know of Kali, but Kali wears skulls around her neck. It exposes the darkness. It exposes the truth. It exposes. So this person exposes the truth. There's no making things look bright and fuzzy. My Jupiter is in this. So that's why I can sit here and tell people certain things. And it's just to tell them the truth, right? Just like Jenny's a moon, it is an Ardra. It can be destructive, but it's to help you do better. Mm-hmm. So you're a lot like that. And, when you have that kind of perspective, there can be some past rooted issues, past life things that are buried underground. They could be from a past life, but there is some dark energy with the ascendant. But might not be too bad, because there's no planets in the 1st house. So you're a good speaker. You might be, you think very practically, very grounded. You're a hard worker. You're law and order. That's you. Also, one of your issues is relationships too. And whether it be with a man or, I don't even know if this is a guy or a female or a male. So
it's a female. I have a feeling it's a female.
It is? Well, then you're going to have problems. K2 is sitting with Venus. So you already achieved a relationship and the love and the romance and all the pleasure and materialistic stuff. So you will have a hard time. You have all this creative energy and all this love, but it's like conflicted. So you're always going to kind of be thinking, you'll be in a relationship with somebody and then you'll kind of be like, okay, this is boring. Or what's next? Or is there something better? And there's always a void of that love and romance and like, you know, good feelings that everybody's supposed to feel. So that's, I would say, one of your biggest things. And you have some 8th house going on. Addiction. It could be addictions. It can be things with brother, father, all that stuff. There's some dark 8th house. It could be gambling. It could be addictions. It can be. There is some dark stuff, and it's a lot of but it's in Cancer, so you're not going to tell a lot of people. It's going to be secrets. It can be secrets. It can be disgrace. It can be like stuff that you don't talk about.
Yeah, there's a lot of inner turmoil in this person.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of very cruel, negative self-talk. This person is their own worst critic, and I feel like they almost won't have people know that about them. So like this person won't, the people in this person's life that are like more like acquaintances, not immediate family that know this person well,
would never know this, right?
Would never know that this person actually deals with quite a great deal of torment. But it's also kind of like, I feel like this person is a little bit, there's the this person gets wrapped up so much in this negative headspace that they really stifle themselves, because the beliefs about themselves starts to turn into a behavior. So it's just like this really kind of like self-defeating cycle. And there's definitely like a lot of like, this person like is totally well aware of their innate abilities to manipulate their surroundings. Like, I feel like this person's also a good worker. So this person is like clever, really calculated, a really, really good thinker. But I also I see this person like throwing a tantrum for no really good reason other than they're just overwhelmed.
Okay, I'm starting to read the comments and I'm starting to get pissed off. I just decided to look at them.
Uh-oh, why?
We have some trolls.
Trolls?
Yeah.
Go back to your holes, troll.
Okay. All right, before I get too mad, because I'll start, like, I don't know why you watch this channel. Sorry. I mean, just if you are going to hit dislike and have problems, just don't watch it. That's all I'm going to say.
Just go away. Do something more exciting with your Friday night.
Because you ruin it for everybody else. I can tell you that. Because when you put us in a bad mood and put me in a bad mood, it makes me want to shut this off. So, you know, and I'm just, you know, we sit here and we're doing this for free, doing this out of our time. The last thing I want to deal with is trolls talking about some stupid shit that I don't even know what the hell they're talking about. We're lucky I didn't see this earlier. Anyway, let's do this last one. That's it.
Oh, don't let them even. They're just jealous because they probably.
No, that they get, you know how I get. Everybody doesn't understand. Like, you know, you can say, oh, don't let them don't feed into them.
Yeah.
My chart is not the type of chart that lets people feed into anything. Okay. So like, you still will hear something because I see shit. I see every comment. I watch everything.
Yeah.
Just leave it at that. And if you have some shitty remarks to make, piss off. Sorry.
Yeah, what are you even doing here? Like, why are you here, you freaking losers?
It's like, it's so stupid.
Get a life. Oh my God. Do you realize how sad that makes you look? You have nothing better to do.
Oh God, you guys
on Friday night, you freaking.
And that's fine. You can talk smack all day long on Rex's channel, but don't come on my channel and talk shit. Sorry. Not happening.
Well, whatever. I don't even care. I really don't.
All right. Anyway, back to this.
Okay. So let's do one more. Let's finish strong here.
Okay. Here, this one's a good one. No, can't do this one right now. This is a lot of energy. This might be the person that just said all that stuff. Okay. I'm gonna do this.
Whatever. I keep asking, but I don't really want to know.
This is 12/28/78.
Okay, that's cool.
Scorpio ascendant with Mercury and Moon in the first house. This is like extremely, extremely Scorpio that you feel all over the place.
I love Scorpio.
I'm a Scorpio ascendant. You are, and you're a Scorpio sun. So you're like heavy Scorpio. And your moon is Scorpio too. Very emotional, very passionate. You hate liars. You want to know the truth. You do not want to be lied to. If somebody lies to you, you just want to, it's done. You want to sting them and never talk to them again. Mm-hmm. And you're a good investigator, a good detective, a good figuring things out. Yeah. You are in the nakshatra of Jesta. Jesta is the eldest one. You probably have long middle fingers. Very sexual, very passionate. It's all in it or all out of it. It's kind of like that.
This is the first card I pulled. In my deck, it's called the Lust card. In other decks, it's called Strength. But this person is has a natural, all Scorpios that I've ever known. This is why Scorpios are my absolute favorite people, because they have such a lustful, exciting, sensual energy. It's not always about sex and like orgasms or whatever. Like that's such a misconception. It's a sensuality. It's an emotional depth, an emotional intensity that Scorpios have that I really, really love and admire. And it works with my energy personally. Also, I think this person is a master internalizer. They have this really amazing ability to internalize all of their issues. And like they do best working through things in their own minds. And it's almost like this person doesn't need to be around a bunch of people. This person actually benefits a lot from having their own space. But there is, for some reason, and it's just like kind of like, there's some like anxiety with the finances and like things not going exactly according to plan in terms of like, you know, establishing material wealth and things like that. So there's some anxiety there, which just kind of like came out of left field. But this person has a real magnetic air about them. I love Scorpios. Scorpios are my favorite people.
Somebody said we're two trannies. Sorry, I have to read.
Trannies, really?
That's cute.
You know how sensitive I am about my dick. I wish people wouldn't make fun of me.
Yeah. Fucking losers. All right. Anyway, so I'm done getting mad, and we're just gonna hang up because. Right? Are we hanging up? Yeah.
I don't know. Well, let's say bye to everybody.
No, we're gonna say bye, but let's be done with the reading.
Trolling. I really don't care. Like, there's just miserable people on a Friday night. Let them be miserable and sad. They're gonna go cry themselves to sleep because that's where they're at in life. Is they have to post hateful comments on YouTube. So yeah. I'm just really glad I'm not you guys. I'm glad that I'm me, and I'm sure Heidi's really glad that Heidi is Heidi.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so anyway, that's we're gonna end it.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed our readings. Thank you all for tuning in, and enjoy the rest of your Friday.
Bye guys.
Bye.
Hold on, don't say anything yet. I'm gonna call you.
We're still live.
I know, I'm gonna call you.